So hello everyone. So in this particular video, we will try to solve a problem on multi-stage air compression considering the clearance volume. So previously we have solved all the varieties of problem. It might be your single stage air compression with clearance volume and without clearance volume. And the multi-stage compression without clearance volume, we have solved a couple of problems in the previous videos. In this particular video, we will be solving a problem on multi-stage air compression considering the clearance volume. So this whole thing is a problem statement. It looks lengthy, but it is easy. Okay, so we shall try to follow one by one. The following data refers to a two-stage, that means it is a multi-stage single acting. So you need not multiply with 2 at the end of your work done. Okay, compressor. Air compressed and delivered is 4 kg per minute. So what it is nothing but your mass flow rate, guys. So mass flow rate is given as 4 kg per minute. Okay. Now the pressure rise is from 100 kPa, which is your inlet, to 2.5 MPa megapascal, which is your outlet. So inlet pressure is given and your outlet pressure is given. Now LP cylinder diameter is given as 15 centimeter, HP cylinder diameter is given as 7.5 centimeter. So LP cylinder will take more amount of volume but having the less pressure, whereas the HP cylinder will take less volume but will be having more pressure. So the values of the diameters of both the cylinders are being given here, which is 15 and 7.5. So convert it into meters while substituting in the further processes. Okay. Now stroke length of each tape is 20 centimeters. Tape in the sense the common shaft. The stroke length would be same for both the cylinders. So if it is same for both the cylinders, it is how much? It is 20 centimeters. The indexes for compression and expansion, that is re-expansion, you can say each stage is 1.2. So the common in compression and expansion index is 1.2. The temperature of the air at the inlet is 25 degrees Celsius. So this is the value of T1. Okay. Now clearance volume is equals to 4% of the stroke volume in each cylinder. So he has given the clearance ratio. So clearance ratio, what it is? C is equals to VC by VS. That is, clearance ratio is equals to the clearance volume divided by swept volume. That is what he has given in terms of the wording. So clearance volume is equals to 4% of the stroke volume in each cylinder. Okay. So the intercooling is perfect. So there is a perfect intercooling. That means your T1 is equals to T3. Okay, T1 is equals to T3, but subjected to the condition for minimum, work input is not satisfied. That means you cannot use the condition Pi, the intermediate pressure, to be square root times of your P1 inlet pressure and P2, which is outlet pressure. You cannot use this condition. Why? Because he has clearly specifying it as the condition for the minimum work input is not satisfied. So then that means you cannot use that particular condition to calculate your Pi. You have to go with some other means. Let us see how we can calculate. So the intermediate pressure is P2. So the power required to drive, you have to calculate all this. So intermediate pressure P2 you have to calculate. So the power required to drive LP and HP pistons you need to calculate. Given that, see, mechanical efficiency he has given. Where to use it, I will be specifying in the later part of the video. So the mechanical efficiency is given as 75%. The speed of the crankshaft driving the compressor. So you have to calculate the speed, even the speed of the crankshaft driving the, okay. What that means, you have to calculate the RPM of it. Energy rejected in intercooler. So there is a perfect intercooling which is happening in this particular compressor. You need to calculate what is the energy which is rejected in the intercooler. That should have a unit of kilojoules per minute. So this is the problem statement, guys. So what you have to do, we shall go with the solution of it. So first write down the PV diagram. Okay, with the clearance volume multi-stage, that is two-stage compression. The PV diagram is given as such. Since the compression and expansion process both have the common indices, so it is 1.2. I have just stated it as commonly, and all the given data have mentioned here. So mass flow rate 4 kg per minute, P1, P3, diameter of LP, diameter of HP, stroke length of both the cylinders, temperature at the inlet, Vs is equals to 0.04 times the Vc is equals to 0.04 times the Vs. That is what it is given here. So this is C. N is equals to 1.2 and T3 is given as 298, which is same as T1. Why? Because it has perfect intercooling, which I was just relating it previously. Okay. Now, so intermediate pressure, you cannot use Pi is equals to square root of P1 into P2 because it is clearly specifying that you should not use the optimal pressure condition. So, optimal pressure condition without using that, how to calculate is just equate PVTs of both the expression, which is given as PT into V3 divided by T3 is equals to P1 V1 divided by T1 as why? Because T3 is equals to T1 here. Okay, so therefore P2 by P1 is given by diameter of, directly taken into terms of the diameter, so you can diameter of LP divided by HP whole square. So if you know the diameters of LP, you know the diameter of HP, just substitute it as 0.15 and 0.075, which is given in the problem, and you will get the value of P2 by P1 as 4 bar. See, the value of P1 is 1 bar, so it is P2 value would be the 4 bar, which is your intermediate pressure. Now, power required to drive HP and LP pistons. So, work done in LP cylinder. First we shall calculate, apply the same formula which you have been applying in all the previous problems. Apply the same thing, you know all the values. So, the work done in the LP cylinder is given as this much. See, now this you have to multiply with the mass flow rate, so that you could convert this kilojoules to watts, is it? So mass flow rate is given as 4 kg per minute. So 4 kg per minute. So you have to substitute in kgs per second, does it? So you have to divide by 60. So 4 I have substituted here and I have divided it by 60. So it becomes in kgs per second. So this is the obtained value of anyhow. So it is 133.473, which is work done by LP. Now, what is 0.75? 0.75 is your mechanical efficiency. So, he has given the efficiency of your LP cylinder, is it? So, that's why you have to substitute the value of mechanical efficiency at the denominator as 0.75. You have to divide it, is it? It reduces. So, that's why the power output of the LP cylinder is 11.86 kilowatt. Similarly, calculate the power output from the HP cylinder. Apply the same formula for the HP cylinder, where this all the things changes for T3, P3 and P1 changes to P3, P3 and P2. Substitute the things, you will get the values in kilojoules per kg. Then you go with the power input you have to calculate. How will you calculate? Multiply it by the mass flow rate in kgs per second like this, and even divide it by the mechanical efficiency, so that the output from the work done on the HP cylinder is 16.3 kilowatt. Now we have to calculate the speed of the crankshaft, is it? That is the third part of the problem. So for that, initially calculate the volumetric efficiency. So the volumetric efficiency is given by this particular expression. So which states 1 plus C minus C times of P2 by P1, which is pressure ratio whole to the power of 1 by N, which is 1.2. So when you calculate the volumetric efficiency, it could be 0.913. Okay. How to calculate the diameter, not diameters, the speed of the crankshaft in the sense. So first you have to, since the mass flow rate of the air is given, so that could be equal to, see, for the ideal gas equation, it is PV is equal to what? M, R and T, correct? So from this, M would be equal to PV divided by RT. At initial condition, if I say it is P1 divided by R into T1. So this V is there, right? This is at the inlet. Okay, V at the inlet in the sense you can use the swept volume for that. Swept volume, you have to multiply it by the volumetric efficiency, because you cannot take the theoretical part, right? So you have to multiply it with the volumetric efficiency. That is what he has given here. The entire thing is V1, okay, into your volumetric efficiency into this particular factor P1 divided by RT1. So that is how you have arrived at this particular expression here. Okay. So substitute all the things. The only unknown could be the value of N, since the volume of the mass flow rate of this thing is given in the problem. So the N can be calculated as 1061 RPM. Okay. Now we have to calculate the energy rejected by the intercooler. So where is the intercooler spot? The intercooler first here is your intercooler, correct? So this functions from here to here. So you have to take Cp. It functions at the constant pressure like this. So if it is functioning at the constant pressure, heat loss is given by Cp times of the temperature difference. So it is from state 3 to 2. So that's why it is. So Qr is equals to mCp T2 minus T1. So substitute the things, whatever you know if you don't know the T2, you can apply the PVT conversion equation from 1 to 2, which is polytropic. You know how to apply it. So from that you can calculate the value of T2 since everything else is known. So T2 is calculated as 375.45 Kelvin. Substitute in this particular expression, you will get the heat rejected in the intercooler as 311 kilojoules per minute. Okay, so try the same problem, which is almost equal to the previous problem. And if you have any doubt while solving this, please let me know. So by this, your entire syllabus for ATD has been completed successfully, including the module 5. Okay, all the best for your examinations. Do well. Okay.